Imagine uncovering a secret that could shake the political world. A birthday message allegedly from former President Donald Trump to one of the most notorious figures of our time, Jeffrey Epstein. Today, we dive deep into this explosive development and the fiery response from Vice President J.D. Vance, who is not holding back. U.S. lawmakers have just released shocking documents, including a copy of a birthday book given to Epstein in 2003, alongside his personal address book and his will. The contents have sparked a flurry of reactions, but none more pointed than Vance's. On X, formerly known as Twitter, he didn't mince words. The Democrats don't even care about Epstein's victims. Vance wrote, striking at the heart of ongoing political battles. The only thing they care about is concocting another fake scandal like Russiagate to smear President Trump with lies. No one is falling for this BS. Pause for a moment. Think about that. A sitting vice president is calling out what he claims is political theater surrounding one of the most infamous criminals of the 21st century. The imagery of a birthday book, a simple, seemingly innocent gift, becomes a lightning rod in an already charged political atmosphere. Let's unpack this. Jeffrey Epstein was a financier with deep and troubling connections, not only to high-profile socialites and celebrities but also to politicians from both sides of the aisle. His 2008 conviction for sex trafficking of minors barely scratched the surface of the complex network he had built. Fast forward to today, the documents released by U.S. lawmakers reveal a startling piece of the puzzle. A note allegedly signed by Donald Trump. Now, here's the hook. Why would a birthday greeting to Epstein be making headlines nearly 2 decades later? It's not just about the note. It's about the timing, the political leverage, and the narratives being built. And Vance is positioning himself firmly in the spotlight, accusing Democrats of exploiting this to attack Trump rather than address the horrific crimes of Epstein himself. If you thought political commentary was predictable, think again. Vance's posts on X are pointed, unapologetic, and calculated to rally the base. No one is falling for this BS, he declares, underscoring a theme of media skepticism and partisan tension that has dominated American politics for years. But the real question remains. How credible is the allegation tied to the birthday note? Let's dive into the documents. The birthday book itself is part of a larger collection of items that have been released to the public, including Epstein's will and a personal address book. For historians, political analysts, and journalists, these documents provide an unprecedented look into Epstein's social web. The book reportedly contains messages from numerous high-profile individuals, some of which have been publicly discussed, while others are being scrutinized now for the first time. Think about the implications. A personal note, decades old, suddenly becomes a centerpiece of national discourse. This is where Vance's remarks become critical. He frames the conversation not as a reflection of past associations, but as a commentary on current political strategies. He challenges the notion that Democrats are genuinely concerned with victims of Epstein, suggesting instead that they are leveraging this story to attack Trump's reputation. Here's a minute in hook. The release of these documents isn't just news. It's a political chess move, and everyone is watching who will take the next step. Political observers argue that Vance's statements are part of a broader narrative. By redirecting attention to media manipulation, partisan agendas, and perceived hypocrisy, he aims to control the story. Meanwhile, the opposition points out that any association with Epstein, even distant, deserves scrutiny. The debate is not merely about Trump or Vance. It's about trust, accountability, and how political figures navigate scandals. Moving forward, the story is evolving. Analysts are combing through Epstein's documents, looking for patterns, connections, and confirmations of prior reports. The birthday book may seem minor in isolation, but within the context of Epstein's network, it could shed light on previously hidden interactions. Vance's response, therefore, is both defensive and offensive. Defensive in protecting Trump, and offensive in criticizing the political motives of the Democrats. Here's another hook to keep viewers glued. Could this note, trivial as it may seem, redefine narratives about past political alliances? Could it change public perception? Or will it fade as just another headline in a long series of controversies? Let's examine the broader context. Epstein's connections span the globe, encompassing royalty, celebrities, and politicians. His 2008 plea deal, which many criticized as lenient, left a shadow of distrust over institutions. For years, Epstein's interactions with high-profile figures were whispered about, rumored, or covered in limited media stories. Today, with documents now public, the conversations are louder, sharper, and more partisan. Vance's approach is straightforward. Highlight the perceived hypocrisy of his political opponents while defending Trump from what he frames as manufactured controversy. The Democrats don't even care about the victims, he asserts, repeating a central theme that has become a staple in his communications. By doing so, he attempts to shift the focus away from the note itself and toward broader political implications. Here's your mid-video hook. As the nation debates the ethics, legality, and politics of this revelation, one thing is clear: the story is far from over, and every angle is under intense scrutiny. Digging deeper into the book, the context of the note is crucial. Was it a simple pleasantry, or something more meaningful? Experts in political history emphasize that interpretation matters. In politics, perception is as important as reality. One poorly contextualized document can fuel narratives that last for years. Vance knows this, and his pointed statements aim to influence that perception before it solidifies. Another layer, the media coverage itself. Outlets are split, some highlighting the sensational nature of the note, others scrutinizing the motivations behind releasing it now. Vance capitalizes on the skepticism, portraying himself and Trump's allies as defenders of truth against a media eager to frame scandal. It's a classic strategy, preemptive defense paired with counterattack. Another hook. What will the public believe? The story of alleged impropriety or the narrative of political manipulation? The answer will shape political discussions for months, if not years. As the day progresses, social media buzzes with commentary. Every post, every article, every clip from lawmakers discussing the birthday book feeds into the narrative cycle. Vance's X posts are particularly resonant because they blend political commentary with moral framing, accusing opponents of neglecting Epstein's victims while obsessing over Trump. It's a clever, if polarizing, tactic that ensures attention remains on his message. Looking ahead, the release of documents like Epstein's birthday book may prompt investigations, media inquiries, or further political statements. It raises questions about accountability, historical records, and the interplay between public figures and private actions. Vance's outspoken defense is only one piece of this larger puzzle. Another hook for engagement. The implications reach far beyond the note itself. It's about the intersection of power, morality, and media in modern politics. Who controls the narrative? Who decides what is scandalous? And who ultimately benefits from this new wave of revelations? Returning to Vance's comments, they are blunt, unfiltered, and meant to provoke thought and reaction. He asserts that Democrats prioritize political attacks over justice for victims. By doing so, he reframes the story from one of historical association to one of current political strategy. It's a subtle but powerful shift in narrative focus. A final hook before wrapping up. As more documents are analyzed and media coverage continues, viewers are left with a choice: accept the political spin, question it, or dig deeper themselves. The story, far from over, promises further twists in the ongoing saga surrounding Epstein and high-profile political figures. In conclusion, this revelation is more than just a note in a birthday book. It's a window into decades of relationships, power dynamics, and the ways in which political figures respond to scrutiny. Vance's statements are a reminder that in politics, context, timing, and framing matter just as much as the facts themselves. As this story unfolds, one thing is certain: the intersections of politics, media, and historical documents will continue to captivate, provoke debate, and fuel the narratives that shape our public discourse. Keep watching, because the implications of these revelations are just beginning to surface, and the conversation is far from finished.